Welcome everyone, thank you for joining today. We will be discussing all things tenant insurance and how to maximise the take-up. My name is Mike Dawson, I'm the Group Head of Sales here, and I'm joined today by Pete, our Head of Insurance. Pete essentially looks after all things insurance, the day-to-day, but also our team of experts that will talk to tenants and essentially quote and set up policies off the back of that. So in terms of the journey that we go down, something that we are experts in is the referencing process is extremely important for lots of different reasons, mainly for the fact that you want to understand the risk nature of the tenants that are applying for your property. For a property that you will be renting out, and off the back of that you will then make your decision on whether that tenant will move in or not based on our gradings as per our criteria. Off the back of that process, we leverage that referencing journey and that relationship we've got with the tenant to find a first-class solution and an award-winning solution of tenant being referenced to collecting the keys and essentially cherry picking different services and offerings that benefit the tenant, benefit the landlord, but also benefit you as the agent. And a key part of that process is tenant insurance. And the reason for that is that it does hit all areas of the process in terms of it benefits the tenant because it reduces risk if they were to damage anything within the property, whether that's their own belongings or the landlord's belongings. But also from a landlord's perspective, it protects the risk that if the tenant does accidentally damage something of their own belongings, there's obviously the benefit there for them. And then for you as the agent, it's a product where we pay commission on. So we will commission you as the agent as a result of the lead being sent over to us post-referencing. So we're perfectly placed to get the take-up that we do. We're perfectly placed to maximise on the commission, and we're perfectly placed to provide a first-class tenant journey and slick journey from referencing till they collect the keys. So what we would ask from you is, based on the products and services that we'll go through in a second with Pete on, is that we ask that you make mention of the importance of tenant insurance to the tenant, because what that means for us is a warmer lead for us, the better success, the better chance we've got of getting a greater take-up of the service. And off the back of that, we will then generate significant income to you as a business, a remunerated income source as well, because it pays monthly until the policy essentially stops, and it builds and builds a bit like tumbleweed over a period of time to a point where you're generating a significant amount of money, reducing the amount that you're spending with us, because where we want to get to is a point where we're actually paying you money for the benefit of having the referencing service put through us. And that's through these additional services that we will discuss as part of the series of webinars we're going through over these coming days. So from your perspective then, Pete, what would you say in terms of agent engagement, what would you say that is extremely important with the team in terms of getting the success of take-up?
Yeah, you're definitely right there, Mike. The Tenants insurance team, based in the Lincoln site, is heavily reliant on getting good quality data coming through to the contact centre, and that can be through various different methods. That can either be through a warm lead that is sent over via the Connect system or via email, off the back of the referencing that's been completed, or an application form, or even our website journey as well, because you can promote the insurance through banner links within the emails that you send out to your tenants. But predominantly most of our sales that we get and most of our leads that we get will come off the back of the reference that's been completed. So when we get to phone those customers, what we find is that the better the lead has been introduced and the more insurance has been talked about, the need for insurance has been talked about, the higher the percentages that we will be able to convert at, and obviously then return an income stream to yourself as a letting agent. Typically what we find is that if a letting agent has discussed at the viewing, also as part of the reference, and picking up the keys as well, at all those points, if they've mentioned or talked about the benefits of having insurance, what it will do for them as a tenant, and the peace of mind it will offer them, knowing that either their liability would be covered, or indeed their contents that they're taking into the property. If the worst was to happen, they'll be covered with that as well. It's one less thing for the tenant to think about or worry about. And the product that we offer is really suitable for the tenant's needs. It covers the liability if it's just on its own. It also covers the liability and the contents if they choose that option. And we have other facets to the cover as well. Other bolt-ons that they can select, things like covering their bikes or any sort of specified items that they have, or pieces of jewellery, that sort of thing that they're taking into the property that they are important to them. Those are the sort of things that we can have covered. So what I find in the 10 years I've been here, I've seen different performances from letting agents, and the main thing that will change their performance upwards and in turn improve your return on investment is discussing the need for insurance and promoting that as part of your process. If that becomes second nature to your brand, to your branch, then what you'll find is what we're able to offer you at HomeLet is a much better payday.
Exactly, and I think you made mention to the agent's part to play, and what I would say is that based on experience of having these conversations with agents daily, it's a very simple thing that we would ask that you make mention to, and that is literally when you're in conversation with the tenant, when you're going through them different parts in the journey, as Pete made mention before, all you have to say is that, listen, we recommend you take out cover whilst renting the property. As part of the journey, HomeLet, our partner for referencing, will offer you a no obligation quote for tenant insurance as well. As I said, no obligation, so it's not something that you have to take up if you don't want to. That 10-15 second conversation makes a world of a difference for us when we're then quoting the tenant and offering the option of cover. It makes a massive difference in the journey for the tenant in terms of it being a warmer lead. It makes a massive difference in terms of the conversion for you to benefit from the income source that this results in. But also, as part of the process, what we find is that you water it, you planting the seed and allowing us to water it, essentially that the flower blossoms and we get the sale off the back of it. But it's a part in the process where, for us as a business, we want to support you. We've had a lot of impact on our income sources over the last couple of years as an industry, as letting agents, and that is through to a certain degree, no fault of our own. That's the tenant fee ban, and that's obviously COVID recently. And if you can differentiate your income sources, if you can look outside of just thinking about property management income or the money you make from selling properties, if you differentiate that, you look at different sources, and we can provide a lot of them different sources in the tenant and landlord journey, then obviously all parties benefit from it. Tenant, you and landlord. And that is something that we are keen to maximise on moving forward. We want to deliver the best quality service we can to your customers, which then replicates a positive impact on your brand. We want to generate significant income for you as a business as well, and we want to provide the most amount of protection that we possibly can in what is a market where it's extremely difficult. More of us are spending time at home now than we've ever done before, ordinarily, so there's more chance and more risk of claim. And for me, it's a complete no-brainer. And have you found, Pete, that from that side, a tenant's now more engaged with insurance due to the fact that there's a greater risk of claim because they're spending more time at home?
Yeah, I think that tenants are getting better educated about what insurance can do for them and why they should take it out. So as people spend more and more time at home, then the risk of things happening increases. So whether it be accidentally spilling a glass of wine on the floor one evening, or being distracted by the kids who are off school, and you've got the iron on and it burns a hole in the landlord's furniture or fixtures, that sort of thing can and does happen. And that's why tenants are finding that getting that set up ensures that they don't have that worry come the end of their tenancy. The other thing to bear in mind as well is that for you as letting agents, it isn't just a one hit with regards to getting your reward from the business. We're excellent at retaining our customers. So we have a dedicated team and a marketing team that contact the clients and point out the benefits of the service that they've got and remind them what it is that they've signed up for. And we do have some excellent results in terms of renewing our policies and keeping those customers with us. And for every year that we do that, you again will get a return on that, and you get your commission paid to you. So building up that back book of insurance is again another way of getting more income from the same client.
Exactly. So thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you found that this will help you moving forward. And obviously, if you've got any queries relating to everything that we're covering in these sessions and specifically insurance related in this session, then please get in touch with our account management team and get in touch with your account manager, and a member of the team will be able to go in more detail and obviously take the relevant action in terms of training with your team members off the back of finding the use of this webinar. So thank you for joining. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us. Hopefully you'll listen to all of the webinars, but if you've got any queries, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Cheers.